When is the World Sleep Day?
13th of March, that is tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. And why doctors are so serious about obstructive sleep apnea?
Because there is not enough awareness regarding this disease, like 60 to 70% of the snorers might be having obstructive sleep apnea. And there is a myth amongst the people, masses, that snoring is a sign of good sleep, which actually it is not. Like it could be a harmless snoring also, habitual snoring also, but there are chances that it might be associated with obstructive sleep apnea. And if it is, then it's not a good thing to have.
Why this obstructive sleep apnea could be a cause of many other comorbidities, like even a heart attack, even any other comorbidity? Why it is so
Because
related with that?
what happens is during the sleep, if the obstructive sleep apnea is basically that you stop breathing during your sleep, and the oxygen supply to the brain decreases. It decreases a lot. So, if the oxygenation to the brain is not proper, of course, then it will not be to the different organs. It can affect the eyes, it can affect the heart, and then all these things. And there is even said that there is a direct correlation between obstructive sleep apnea and diabetes, obstructive sleep apnea and hypertension, and and obesity, of course. And obesity is what is causing obstructive sleep apnea.
Okay, obesity is somehow it is kind of adding salt to the injury.
Yes, and obesity, is one of the most important treatable causes. There are so many other causes which are not in our control, but obesity, except if it is a medical problem, hormonal problem, otherwise it is a treatable cause, and obesity is because of our faulty lifestyles. You know, uh, Lifestyle and sedentary lifestyle that which can be corrected, and once corrected, the chances of OSA would become much less.
And it has also been mentioned in medical science that if your child is snoring, a parent should be worried.
Yes. Uh, if the child is mouth breathing, if the child is snoring, if the child is having recurrent coughs and colds, then the parent should be worried. If the grades in the school are falling in the over last few months, if there is poor concentration, child is becoming irritable, then also it could be because of obstructive sleep apnea. Of course, if the child is having snoring and mouth breathing.
And how is it so related with the large tonsils and adenoids?
Because the adenoids would block the airway, the big huge tonsils will block the airway. So if there is airway is blocked, of course, then there will be collapse of the soft tissues, and it will cause the oxygen to be less.
It is also been seen in many patients that a patient die while sleeping. So is it somehow related with sleep apnea?
Yes, it could be related to sleep apnea. It could definitely be related to sleep apnea. That there is a sudden heart attack during sleep, which can eventually cause a fatality.
Okay, sir, how do a patient may not be able to get it if, okay, he's having a heart attack while sleeping? He cannot feel the pain, or what happens when a patient is having sleep apnea and he dies? Is there any indications that came into light?
No, it is not like sometimes the patient might not be having other except any other symptom, and just he's having sleep apnea, which he's been ignoring, and you know it could have directly affected the heart.
So, anyone who is snoring, be it a child, be it an adult, or be it a lady having a menopause, they should consult their ENT doctor if they have the sleep apnea or not.
Yes, if they are having snoring, but along with that, if they are having daytime sleepiness, that is the most important thing. Then they should consult. Then there are so many other things that the physician can try to find out. So, women are less prone to having obstructive sleep apnea before menopause. After menopause, it is the same. That is the thing.
So, this disease, what you diagnose in a sleep lab where a patient is being, is asked to lie whole of the night, and you diagnose them with your tools. So when sleep apnea is diagnosed clinically, then what next?
If it could be a mild, moderate, or severe variety. So usually the mild variety is treated by effective, like changing your lifestyles, taking care of your controlling of weight, being active during life, walking more, and all those. But moderate to severe would require treatment, and treatment could be of two types: medical treatment in the form of a device which is called as a CPAP device, which pushes air into the airway and it opens the airways, so the oxygenation is proper. So that is the first line of treatment for sleep apnea. But there is one subset of patients who may not be able to tolerate those CPAP, who are not comfortable with the mask, who are traveling so much that they are not able to carry it everywhere, they are not able to use it. And some people have a small subset which doesn't want to use a CPAP at night. Then those need to be evaluated further, and then we can find out if they will fit into some surgical treatment, and we can offer that surgical treatment.
Your message to the audience.
Uh, we must take care of our lifestyles. Sedentary lifestyle should be stopped. Take care of our weight management, because though all snorers are not having obstructive sleep apnea, but snoring is the first sign that you might be having obstructive sleep apnea. So we need to be aware of this problem, which leads to so many other problems. That is why it is very important to take care of obstructive sleep apnea.
Thank you.
Thank you.